Hello, Bill.
Hey, man.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good
What's
to see
going
you.
on?
We're here, man.
You are here.
Everything's going wild.
How is your site going?
It's going. We're decentralizing as fast as possible, getting it out of our hands so that we need to protect ourselves from ourselves.
How do you do that? Tell everybody it's Maps.
Minds.
Minds, rather. Sorry.
Minds.com. M-I-N-D-S.
I just had Rick Doblin
Rick,
on.
no,
I have
yeah.
psychedelics on the brain.
I sense kinship with Maps. Yeah.
Yeah, Minds and Maps, the two of them should go together perfectly.
We probably should work
Seamlessly.
together. Yeah. So basically, there's protocols and there's platforms. So, Twitter, Minds, other social networks, these are platforms. They're kind of built in the traditional social media style, which is on servers that are, live in huge cloud centers.
Right.
But there's also protocols. The one that we're working with now is called Nostr, which stands for Notes and Other Stuff Transmitted by Relay. So there's no company owns this protocol. The founder is anonymous, sort of similar to Bitcoin. And what it is it's all about crypto key pairs and signing stuff. So with Nostr, this is all happening in the background on Minds. Every user has a cryptographic key pair, which you can download in your settings. You're the only one who gets the private key. That's your identity. Your content, your followers, all that is tied to your identity. So when you post something, when you follow somebody, that is creating a signature on this decentralized network of relay nodes. So we run a relay. Thousands of other people run relays. Snowden's on Nostr now. It's like getting serious endorsement. And it's because it doesn't have a company. Because companies are choke points that can, we saw what happened with Napster, for instance.
What happened with Napster?
Napster just got rocked by the music industry, and they basically died. I mean, they still sort of exist, but they pretty much got taken down because there was that entity to go after.
I see. So if they were decentralized, but there was no real decentralization back then, was there?
Well, torrents are decentralized.
BitTorrents, right.
Torrents, actually, and Nostr there's work that we're involved with now on integrating Nostr with torrents so that more heavy files, video, and rich media can be shared over the network. Right now, it's text and links, essentially.
What is your opinion when it comes to copyright protection and stuff like that? Well, like if someone has copyrighted material, like say if like NBC has a show and then someone uploads it.
I mean, that's illegal.
Right. But if it's on torrents, it's like, how do you get it down?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't.
So it's just, even though it's illegal.
Yeah, I mean, and
no
that's why, so we have moderation. I mean, if a copyrighted video gets reported on Minds, then, we will take it down from our interface. But it still exists on the decentralized network.
So you really can't stop people from sharing it?
No.
No.
No. So, I think I kind of have a nuanced view on copyright. Like, I think that people's work should be protected and, not stolen and monetized. But at the same time, it's just like the nature of information is not compatible with copyright, really.
Right.
Just because information wants to do what it wants to do.
That's one of the weirder things about what's happening with the internet is that essentially as time goes on, it becomes more and more difficult to control what's just ones and zeros. Like as they're out there, the bottlenecks between people and information, they're getting broader. It's getting more and more difficult to stop things. And I think as time goes on, it'll be impossible. I don't think there'll be any stop. I think in the future, like anything, I have a feeling that we'll have zero privacy in the future. I have a feeling that all of this encryption and all this stuff, I think it's all going to be invalid once quantum computing is ubiquitous. I just have a feeling that there's no way you can stop information when technology moves past where it is now to some place where basically anybody could get access to anything at any time. And then the problem becomes, how do you control money when that happens? Because money in a lot of I mean, a lot of it is just ones and zeros, and the only thing that stops you from being able to steal it or transfer it is encryption. When you don't have any more encryption, and anyone kind of has access to anything that's online.
So, yeah, I hear you. It does seem like over time technology is working against privacy, and
Yes.
it's
That's
evolving.
that's a better way to put it.
So,
Yeah.
but encryption hasn't been broke. Some encryption has been broken, but encryption is still good. It still works, and
For-
as quantum computing advances, encryption protocols will advance too. So it's a race, and there are people trying to break it. But I heard the other day you were mentioning the whole thing with Signal and Tucker.
Yeah.
And so, to clarify that, so based on my understanding, Signal has not been compromised. The Pegasus program that you were referring to does have the ability to hack people and get into their device. But once you get into someone's it's actually easier to get into someone's machine or phone than it is to hack the encryption protocol. So if you can get into someone's phone, then you probably can get into
I
their
think
messages.
that's what they did.
So that's different. That's different than Signal being irrelevant.
Right. It's
Yeah.
not that Signal's irrelevant, but it's just that the government right now has the ability to get into things no matter what. According to Gavin DeBecker, who's a securities expert, he said all they need is your phone number.
Mhm.
Signal 1 was, Pegasus 1 was you needed a link. So someone would have to, that's the whole Jeff Bezos story. Someone sent him a link on WhatsApp. He clicked on that link, bang, all of a sudden they have access to his phone.
Right. And you have to be super sophisticated to lock yourself down to
Yeah.
avoid that. Like, I'm sure that there are people who, I know there are people who are probably less victim to something like Pegasus. But
Sure,
Yeah.
probably less victim. But I mean, I guess with a guy like Jeff Bezos, he probably has someone scan his phone all the time. But I wonder if they could even detect Pegasus at this point.
Yeah.
And if we know about Pegasus too, how do we know if there's a Pegasus 3? Like whatever sort of workarounds they've found, I'm sure we're not going to be privy to it until it's too late.
Yeah. I mean, the layers of surveillance kind of keep zooming out.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think this whole intelligence world is getting out of control. I mean, because you've got artificial intelligence, we have what we know is the state of human intelligence. We then have what is speculated to be potential non-human intelligences,